afternoon. You're with us here on Republic, and we begin this edition of the news with this big breaking update coming in to us. This is the office of Ahmad Masood that has spoken to Republic, and they reconfirm that, yes, there is a larger Pakistan plot here. They also do indicate right now that both Ahmad Masood and Amrullah Saleh are people who Pakistan wants dead. Not just that. The office of Ahmad Masood also tells us that he is still in Afghanistan, much contrary to the other reports that had indicating that Amrullah Saleh and Ahmad Masood had fled the country. But now, more breaking updates coming in that are also flashing on your screens. This is a part of a message to Republic from Ahmad Masood's office, where they indicate that Pakistan actually wants both Ahmad Masood and Amrullah Saleh dead. That is the reason why Ahmad Masood's office is actually telling us, and I quote them now, that we must protect Amrullah Saleh and Masood for now. Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh also joining us right now for his first reaction to this quick breaking update. Lieutenant General Saab, what is your reading of this message that has just come to us from Ahmad Masood's office? They say Pakistan wants both these men dead, Ahmad Masood, Amrullah Saleh. He also does say that Ahmad Masood and Amrullah Saleh, both of them right now are in Afghanistan itself.
Absolutely. I think what Massoud's office is saying, that is the key aspect. And with this, both Pakistan stands exposed in totality as far as the interference in Afghanistan is concerned. And secondly, it exposes their intentions in that area. I think Iran has also so precisely come out on this aspect to say that they have condemned Pakistan interference in Afghanistan. You know, one thing is there that every Afghani and the entire Afghan nation as such, they are absolutely, I think, deeply disturbed by this point that Pakistan has invaded their area. They want them to get out from there. And Pakistan's state strategy has been based on lies, proxies, and deniability. And what this message from Massoud's office is conveying is a clearly exposing the Pakistan intentions in these. And they have categorically said that both these leaders are safe, they are in the country. And this is also, I think, a big jolt to what Taliban and Pakistan combined were trying to do in the propaganda warfare. I think the lies and the propaganda of Pakistan and the Taliban both combined has been exposed. In fact, they have tried to learn this thing from Chinese of the media war and the psychological war. But one thing is there that truth is something which can never be kept under the carpet. And the propaganda which they're trying to do has absolutely been uprooted in this case. And Panjshir and, as I would say, the National Resistance Force, their substance, their history, their legacy, their patriotism, and the way they fight in this type of a warfare, I think it is here for the world to see. And Taliban was so quick to go in for a press conference. They got a video of the governor office with the flag and trying to sell a lie to the world. I think which has been so appropriately countered by the Massoud office.
You know, I think you make a number of those important points, Lieutenant General Saab, but we are also looking at some more pictures. I will, in fact, check if these are more recent pictures that Republic has been able to access. Both Ahmad Masood and Amrullah Saleh have not just been the face of resistance, but I think, sir, they are also giving a lot of heart to people that have come out to protest against the Taliban, against Pakistan. You know, there is a reason why, sir, on the streets of Kabul, you heard slogans saying Azadi. We heard slogans against Pakistan.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think these two leaders, National Resistance Force, and one who claims himself to be the president of Afghanistan in the current dynamics from a legal point of view, I think both of them have given that confidence to every Afghani at the current dynamics. In fact, I would say that the protests which are there in Kabul and other areas of Afghanistan have also taken a cue, and they're in the coherent frequency. In fact, some of the videos which your channel has shown where the women are leading the protest, where they're absolutely fearless. I think this protest and what the National Resistance Force has added on to their perspective of patriotism, their perspective of what Afghanistan nation and the
Correct.
nationalism is concerned.
Lieutenant General Saab, I'll request you to hold that phone line if possible, sir, because I also want to get in Sajjad Azhar Pirzada, who is also a Pakistan senior journalist. He joins us on the broadcast here. Sajjad Saab, दोनों अहमद मसूद और अमरुल्लाह साले ये कहते हैं कि वो इस समय अफगानिस्तान में ही है। अहमद मसूद का ऑफिस ये बात साफ साफ कह रहा है कि पाकिस्तान हम दोनों को मरवाना चाहता है। तो क्यों पाकिस्तान एक थर्ड कंट्री में जाकर इंटरफेरेंस कर रहा है? क्या इस तरह का एक जो बिहेवियर है या पाकिस्तान का जिस तरह का रवैया है आप सबको एक्सेप्टेबल है? आप एक सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट हैं।
देखिए, अभी अहमद मसूद साहब का यहाँ पे बयान पाकिस्तान में भी नहीं आया। उन्होंने इस तरह की जो प्रेस रिलीज जारी जो की है, मुझे भी बताया कि आपके टीवी पे या आपको रिटर्न उन्होंने भेजा है। पाकिस्तान में अभी इस तरह की कोई बात सामने नहीं आई। और अगर आप दूसरी तरफ मुझसे ये सवाल पूछें कि जो तालिबान हैं उनके हवाले से, तो हमें ये उनसे अच्छी और भलाई की उम्मीद नहीं रखनी चाहिए। जो मुल्ला ब्रदर हैं जिनको बनाया गया है डिप्टी प्राइम मिनिस्टर, तो वो पाकिस्तान में कैद रहे, पाकिस्तान ने उनको कैद रखा और उसके बाद अब जब वो पावर में आए हैं तो उनके दिल में कोई अच्छी चीज तो नहीं होगी ना। तो
नहीं सज्जाद साहब आप इस पूरे इशू को घुमा रहे हैं। देखिए, मैं आपसे सीधा और स्ट्रेट सवाल पूछती हूँ, क्यों पाकिस्तान अमरुल्लाह साले और अहमद मसूद को मरवाना चाहता है? आपके आईएसआई चीफ क्यों इस समय काबुल में है?
देखिए कि अभी तक कोई बयान रिटर्न उन्होंने इंटरनेशनल मीडिया में आपको जारी किया, लेकिन आपके मुताबिक, लेकिन अभी कहीं और कोई उनके लेटर पैड से ये बयान पूरे मीडिया के लिए जारी नहीं किया गया। ये भी एक बात है ना देखने की कि उन्होंने ऐसा सिर्फ रिपब्लिक टीवी पे आपके किया। और अच्छी बात है कि आपके पास ये पहली खबर आई, ऐसी बात नहीं है कि मैं डिनाई कर रहा हूँ इस चीज से। आपके पास अगर ये खबर आई तो ये एक अच्छी
नहीं सज्जाद साहब आप एक जर्नलिस्ट है सर। आप ये समझते हैं कि क्या सवाल पूछा जा रहा है, आप उसका क्या जवाब देते हैं। मेरे साथ इस समय फोन लाइन पर लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल गुरमीत सिंह साहब भी है, पर इससे पहले कि मैं उनके पास जाऊं, मैं आपसे ये पूछती हूँ। चलिए, आप मुझे कहते हैं कि अहमद मसूद का बयान पाकिस्तान नहीं पहुंचा है, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन मुझे ये बताइए कि आपके आईएसआई चीफ इस समय काबुल में क्या कर रहे हैं? उनकी तो तस्वीरें आपने देखी है ना।
देखिए, बात यह है कि जो हमारा पड़ोसी मुल्क इंडिया है, उन्होंने तो फंडिंग की थी वहाँ पे इंडिया में, उन्होंने अरबों रुपए वहाँ पे लगाए अपने। तो आपके एम्बेसीज भी वहाँ पे कायम रही। अगर दोनों तरफ से ये मामला अफगानिस्तान के साथ हैं, बातचीत जारी है, तो उसमें कोई बुराई की बात तो नहीं है, ना इंडिया की तरफ है ना पाकिस्तान की तरफ से। लेकिन मेरा ये कहना है कि दोनों मुल्कों को, पाकिस्तान को और हिंदुस्तान को, अफगानिस्तान को लेकर आपस में नहीं लड़ना चाहिए, मिलाने की बात करनी चाहिए, तोड़ने की बात नहीं करनी चाहिए। मेरा ये
अरे आप टेररिस्ट को एक गवर्नमेंट का वहां पर पूरा एक कहते हैं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे देते हैं अफगानिस्तान में। सज्जाद साहब, बात करने के लिए शुक्रिया, लेकिन आपने मेरे किसी भी सवाल का जवाब नहीं दिया। Let me go back now to Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh Saab, who's been very, very patiently holding that phone line. Sir, thank you so much. I just hope that you've heard that responses that have come in from the Pakistan side. And I mean, I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that when everything, sir, is so very clear, the ISI chief is there, Ahmad Masood, Amrullah Saleh, both have said Pakistan wants us dead. Why should the international community, why are so-called, superpowers like the US, like NATO, absolutely silent on the role of Pakistan?
Ma'am, I absolutely agree with you. In fact, you heard the Pakistani journalist. He was trying to say, baat ye hai, baat wo hai. But baat actually hai ye ki the DG ISI is sitting in Kabul. He has gone there to interfere in the formation of the government. He's gone there to control I would say, the conflict or the battle in the area of Panjshir, because they have invested their Pakistani Air Force. They have invested the special forces. They have invested elements from 11 Corps of Pakistan, and the entire world knows about it. In today's world, the satellite coverage of all these areas, the cyber content with you, evidences are so evident. And in fact, I must compliment you honestly that your channel, very few of them, they have got their reps sitting there. In fact, you're giving direct from the center of gravity. So, and you have conveyed it so emphatically, the viewpoint of the leadership of the resistance force. And they've categorically said, these are the conspiracies and the ill intention of Pakistan. In Hindi, what it comes out so strongly and clearly, these are the sajish and napak irade jo Pakistan ke hain. And honestly, DG ISI sitting in Kabul and trying to cover it up by saying that he's gone for economy, security, peace, stability. Does the intelligence head of a nation goes for economy? I think this is a absolute. They can't even web a lie properly. They don't have. I would say they are so embedded in the deniabilities that they have forgotten what is truth, what is lie, and they think that they can take the world. But very beautifully, what you said is what the world needs to do. Is the world going to sit silent and do nothing about it? Iran has come out so pointedly to say that this is against the international law. They have condemned and criticized and come out absolutely dot on as far as Pakistan's interference in Afghanistan is concerned. I personally feel I think it's time to call Pakistan a terror state. It's time to put sanctions on them from every perspective. When I say sanction, it is not only economy, finance, all those things which like FATF, UN, but also diplomatically and politically, I think they need to be isolated because what I would say what they've spurred from what they've done in Afghanistan is the threat of terrorism and radicalization, and I think that is what is against the peace and stability. In fact, DGISI has or the Pakistan has tried to cover it up by these 4 words, and they are far away. Their own economy has failed, and the DGISI, I don't know. How can they even think of it that the intelligence agency head has been given the task of to go and talk economy with a neighbor? It is absolutely not understandable in any parameter of logic.
No one believes it.
Thinking.
Lieutenant General Saab, no one believes it. This is a cabinet that is being led by terrorists. So many of them are proscribed terrorists. They are UN designated terrorists. These are people who've served in the Guantanamo Bay. I mean, we as a world must shudder to think that this is the Taliban that wants legitimacy. I mean, forget the fact that you have any other civilians. It's an entire cabinet that is from the Taliban, and the Haqqani network has a clear imprint. The reason why, Baradar has been cut to size, the very fact that he was in the Pakistani jail. But this is a discussion that is obviously extremely important right now. Lieutenant General Saab, we thank you so much for your time as always on Republic. We look forward to talking to you again, sir. I also want to say good afternoon now to Captain Alok Bansal, who's also with us on the broadcast. And Captain Saab, thank you for your patience and holding that phone line with us. What do you make of this statement now that Republic has been able to access from the office of Ahmad Massoud, who makes it very clear, sir, that Pakistan wants Ahmad Massoud and Amrullah Saleh dead?
See, this has been known for a very long time that the biggest impediment to Taliban's complete sway over Afghanistan, and when you say Taliban, it means ISI's complete sway over Afghanistan, are Amrullah Saleh and Ahmad Massoud. And especially Amrullah Saleh, since he has the legitimacy. As per the constitution of Afghanistan, he is the head of Afghanistan. And no international community except for Pakistan and its acolytes have accepted Taliban. Even they have not officially recognized Taliban government. So Amrullah Saleh is de facto the president of Afghanistan, and any aid that he seeks may be available to him easily through the international community. It may be easily feasible for international community to justify that. And that's why Pakistan feels Amrullah Saleh, who knows Pakistan's dirty game in Afghanistan, needs to be eliminated. And his biggest supporter is Ahmad Masood, whose father was the last bulwark against Taliban's offensive. So these two individuals, they know have the capacity to resist Taliban's rule. And if they start rallying, we have seen the discontent that is brewing inside Afghanistan. We saw the protests in Kabul, we saw the protests in Pakistan, we saw the protests in Herat. All these protesters who are protesting sporadically can rally behind this opposition. And that's why DGISI is camping in Kabul. He wants this resistance to be eliminated before it starts growing. And I think there are a lot of people who are waiting and watching. There are a lot of Air Force pilots of Afghan Air Force who are in Central Asian republics. You have the Uzbek warlords, Dostum and Atanur, who are sitting in Tashkent. So all these leaders could rally behind Ahmad Masood and Saleh. And that's why Pakistan, to meet its nefarious objective of conquering Afghanistan de facto, wants these two individuals to be eliminated.
I think you've read that situation really well. We thank you, Captain Alok Bansal, for your time, for your perspective and your inputs right now on that story. And let's move on to get our viewers one more breaking update coming in.